I figure before everybody starts running off the mouth about Halloween and overplays it for me, and it gets me to where I don't want to think about Halloween anymore for the rest of my life, I better get this out of the way. So we're going to get it out of the way. Hey everybody, it's Drewski McGillicuddy, and since I had so much fun making my ranking list for the Friday the 13th VHS tapes, I figure since Halloween Kills is getting ready to come out, and I'm sure everybody's gonna just drive me nuts, running off at the mouth about Halloween this, Halloween that, I'll be the first one to start it off with ranking the Halloween VHS tapes. That being said, obviously, there were no VHSs in 2007 when Rob Zombie's films came out, so those are excluded from the list. And so is Halloween 2018. It's excluded from the list. This isn't a list of my favorite movies in the franchise. This is a list of my favorite VHS cover art. Now, there are different variations of the VHSs, but we're going with the main ones that you would have seen in your video store. So, there's a couple I might show along the way that are different variations that I thought, well, hell, this would be a runner-up if it wasn't for the fact that it can't be a runner-up because it's not the version of the VHS that I had chose. Does that make sense? Are y'all ready? Okay. The funny thing is, before I get started, is I was looking at the list after I made it, and I'm like, some of these actually do go along the lines of I like the movie as much as I like the VHS cover art. So it's like, not the picture's worth 1,000 words, but you know, it's like the movie's only as good as its cover art, right?
You can judge a book by its cover.
You can judge a book by its cover. All that aside, starting off with number 8, because there were 8 Halloweens that came out on VHS tape, and in last place at number 8 is Halloween H2o. And this happens to be my least favorite Halloween movie. Now, a lot of people love this movie for some weird reason. I don't know what it is, because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Josh Hartnett, and however the hell you say his name and all that, but we're not here to talk about those people, or none of that stuff. We're here to talk about how basic and boring this fucking cover looks. And, you know, you might think Scream could be to blame. Now, I remember when the original Scream came out, that first VHS, whatever, blah, 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 they had, you know, it was new for its time. But then Halloween basically copied and pasted from the Scream, but put their stars with the Michael Myers mask in the back, Michael Myers mask in the background, with all the stars of the movie front and center on the poster that just, I'm sorry, it just looks plain Jane. A lot of VHS tapes were like that back then. A lot of them. You know, the late 90s, early 2000s. And I gotta say, you know, it's a terrible trend. Because moving on to number 7, we've got literally the exact same thing on the Resurrection VHS. It's practically the same thing. The only reason it's higher on the list is because the mask looks a little cooler on the box. And it's got Busta Rhymes on the... I mean, come on. No, I'm kidding. It's mainly to do with the mask and like how they got the knife there. Are you looking at it? Because I'm not really looking at it. I'm just pretending to look. I'm looking at it up here in my mind's eye. But that's what it looks like to you while you're looking at it next to me pointing at it. And it's kind of same thing. Plain Jane. There's just a little tweaks to this to make it a little bit better than the H2o. But I don't like neither one of these. They're fucking lazy. This is pure laziness on the part of the studio and whoever the fuck paid the person to make the VHS cover art. So those are those. Fucking last place. Now moving on, for the most part, I relatively love all of these. I mean, this one being, you know, in 6th place, number 6, is number 6, The Curse of Michael Myers, which is not known as Halloween 6. It's known as Halloween, Curse of Michael Myers. But what I would like to know, and the reason this is so low on the list, is when the fuck you ever had them gloves on? When the fuck you ever seen Michael Myers wearing a pair of fucking isotoners? Huh? Ain't never in your goddamn life you seen him wearing these fucking gloves. And that takes a little couple points off for me. But I do love the way the mask looks. I like the font. You know, whatever have you. I like the angle of where he stayed. But it's just, what the fuck? Why's he got these gloves on? When the fuck does he ever have gloves? Who the fuck? You know, it's a lot like the movie itself. It's kind of fucked up because, you know, there's a producer's cut because the theatrical release and the producer, it's all fucked up. It's all fucked up. But for some reason, even as terrible as this movie is in real life, I enjoy the hell out of it. But that's not what we're here talking about. We're talking about the fucking cover. And, like, seriously, why the fuck does he have them gloves? This is so weird. It's like we're going in numerical order, because moving on to number 5, we have Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, which I love this. But it's basically Halloween 4, which you'll see on the list. But it's basically Halloween 4 and a knife and Jamie Lloyd. And then there you go. That's Halloween 5. We'll use the exact same poster from the previous movie, and we'll just add Jamie Lloyd. Because, you know, we want people to know she's coming back for the sequel, I suppose. But, you know, there's really nothing to it. It's got the better looking of the mask, which is false advertising, if I must say. Because that sure as fuck ain't the mask they used in the movie. But, you know, that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. This is number 5. It's in the number 5 spot. And now here is where everybody's going to get mad at me. Because coming in at number 4 is the original Halloween with the slasher pumpkin. Because, you know, it's like, what's going on? I mean, don't get me wrong. I love this. This very well could end up tattooed on my body someday. But it's just like, when was he wearing a pumpkin head? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I love it. Like I said, from here on out, I love all of these. But this one just, I mean, it's iconic. It's classic. I'm not saying anything bad about it. There's nothing bad to be said about it. But there's some on the list that I like just a little bit more. But this one, you know, it's classic. And it does have this fancy rendition for the full screen, which I thought is kind of cool. I mean, it's not as cool as that, but it's pretty cool. And I'm sure there's other variations, like there's the Blockbuster exclusive, which I'd like to get my hands on, but that's probably $50, if not more than that by now. But yeah, Halloween is number 4. You got a fucking problem with that? So we're moving on to number 3. Basically what happened, I didn't want them to be in numerical order, plus that's not how I feel about them, to where they'd be in the order that I had to make up. I'm being honest with you, because that's what I do on this channel. I'm very honest about my opinions that don't matter. So moving on to number 3, we've got Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Now, why couldn't we have, like, worked a little harder to maybe get another William Shatner mask and maybe remake, like they did it in 1978. Why can't they do it in 1980, whatever the fuck this movie came out? Because that is what his fucking mask should have looked like in the movie, not this shit. Who knows what the fuck that shit is? Now, a long time ago, somebody tried to tell me that, oh yeah, that is another William Shatner mask that they painted. They just painted it too white. And I was like, well, you know, I could have swore they got a bigger fucking budget for this movie. Why can't they go get another fucking mask and try it again? But no, they want to do some fucking false advertising. Don't get me wrong, this movie's grown on me over the years, but this fucking goddamn poster is fucking incredible. And it's way better than the actual movie. I'd rather sit here and stare at this fucking movie cover than actually watch the fucking... That's not true. I'm just kidding. But seriously, like, why does this look so fucking good, but the movie doesn't live up to this cover? Because, I mean, it's just... It's like the best the mask has ever looked. And the mask has never even looked like that in the movie. Well, I guess there's a couple scenes in the original where the mask kind of looked like. But you know, you get what I'm saying, right? So coming in at number 2 is Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. I think I said it right that time. I don't know. But yeah, look at it. I mean, even though Michael Myers isn't in this movie, and this kind of gives you the hint that it's not, because this might have been used for the theatrical poster, but it kind of tells you that it's Season of the Witch. It's not Season of fucking Michael Myers. Okay? So you got the trick-or-treaters. I mean, this is oozing atmosphere. You know, and it's a fucking VHS cover, and it oozes atmosphere. And that's, you know, the thing. It just reminds me of October. It reminds me that my birthday's coming up, then Halloween's coming up, and then, you know, it'll be time to watch all these fucking movies. But damn it if I'm going to watch them on VHS, because the last time I tried to watch a VHS, the fucking VCR ate the goddamn tape, so never again. They're just eye candy from now on. But anyway, Halloween 3, number 2, which only leaves 1, and a lot of people might be like, what the fuck, man? But yeah, Halloween 2 is number 1, because that fucking pumpkin with the skull is cool as shit, man. I mean, just look at it. Let's just sit here and appreciate that somebody came up with this shit, you know? I mean, it just suits the movie so well. Like, it's almost as cool as the pumpkin. Like, if the original movie had the pumpkin that's in the opening credits, or, you know, when it pops up and says John Carpenter's Halloween, you know what I'm talking about. The fucking pumpkin from the first movie. If it had that, maybe it'd be a toss-up. But, you know, this one's got a skull in it, and skulls kick ass, man. But no, seriously, this, like, if I were to get a Halloween tattoo, it wouldn't be Michael Myers. Well, I mean, I might eventually get a cool shot of Michael Myers tattooed. I don't know, because, you know, I gotta have tattoos everywhere. But honestly, that'd probably be my first Halloween tattoo, is the VHS cover for Halloween Part 2. So, you know, that is my list. And keep in mind that it's my list. My list isn't the same as your list. But if you want to let me know your list, you can do that down in the comment section while you're liking this video. Click on the subscribe button. All these buttons that you can click down there while you're doing stuff. And then if you've liked that enough to let me borrow $1, I'll leave a link in the description for the Patreon. And you can, you know, give me $1, and then I'll, like, put your name on the card, and then just I don't give a shit. Anyway, I've got to go.